Alright, so we're starting chapter 8. We have quite a bit of review in here, just looking at it from a different angle. So reviewing chapter 5, or if you remember chapter 5, that's information that will make this chapter easier. If you're struggling with chapter 5, feel free to come see me and we'll review and reteach, which we'll do during class as well. So 8.1 is defining a linear function rule. So let's get started. So we need to remember that a linear function is a function whose graph is a straight line. And then something else to remember, a linear function rule is an equation that describes a linear function. We've worked with this before. The basics of that rule is the y equals mx plus b. That is our linear function. If we see something that looks like that, we know we have a line. Alright, so here are some examples. Obviously, this is a line. That means this is a linear function. So our equation is y equals x plus 4. So if we looked at this to see where we got it, remember this is my b where we start on the y-axis, which is 4. And then from here we go up 1 and over 1. And since both of these are 2, so I went up 2 and right 2. And so 2 divided by 2 is 1. And so that's how we get the 1x. Now when I look at this one, this is nonlinear because it is v-shaped and not a line. This is what we call our absolute value graph. So if you remember the absolute value symbol. And then here's a third example. We have x equals 4, which is a vertical line. So it is linear because it is a line, but it's not a function because the x values have more than one y value. Remember, we could look either at the table or at the graph, and if we look at the graph, it should pass our vertical line test. Well, if I draw a vertical line on a vertical line, then it's going to pass through every point, making it not pass the vertical line test. So now we're going to go over our first example. So we want to describe each of our linear functions, a, b, and c, using one of the following rules. So either y equals x, y equals 2x, y equals x plus 2, y equals negative x, or y equals 2. And so that's what we're trying to figure out, which of these equations here match these graphs down here. So we're going to start with our first one, graph A. And we can do this in a myriad of ways. I can choose points and check to see if those points satisfy each of these equations. So like we could choose the point 1, negative 1, 0, 0, and 1, 1, and I could plug them in and see if they fit in each of those equations, and then pick the one that works. Or I can graph each equation and match the graphs, or I can make a table and match the graphs. So we could make a table of each of these equations and then match them to our graphs. Or the book says there's only those two methods. I believe there's a third method. If you remember what we did in chapter 5, section 6, which we spent 3 days, at least 3 class periods on, we did y equals mx plus b, where we had to find our y-intercept and then go our slope. So that, again, becomes our choice on what you want to do, but I think it'd be easier to just write the equation from the line and then match it. So if I looked at this, my y-intercept is 0. So I'm going to start with this one, and then I'll show you one of the other ones. Actually, let's start with a harder one. So if I went the table route, then I would make a table for each equation. So let's start, my first one here is y equals x. So y equals x, and I'm going to make a t-chart. X, y. And I'm going to choose x values, say -1, 0, and 1. And then I'm going to plug these in. So y is going to equal my x value. So when x is -1, y is -1. When x is 0, y is 0. When x is 1, y is 1. So then I look, oh look, when x is -1, y is -1. When x is 0, y is 0. When x is 1, y is 1. And so that means that for A, y equals x is our equation. Now if I were to do the y equals mx plus b, I would see that my b equals 0, and my slope, I go up 1/1, keeping in mind my intervals for each. So m would equal 1/1, which equals 1. So I would write y equals 1x plus 0, and then simplify y equals x. So either one of these methods got us to the same fact that A, the equation is y equals x. So let's move on to B. So again, we already figured out that y equals x went with the other graph. So now we can try the table for y equals 2x. So let's make our t-chart. I'm going to plug in -1, 0, and 1. And when I plug in -1, 2 times -1 is -2. When I plug in 0, we get 0. And 2 times 1 is 2. So now I'm going to look. So when x is -1, here is 2. When x is -1, here's -2. My blue line is not there, therefore this equation does not work. Nope, didn't work. So now I'm going to do y equals x plus 2, t-chart, x, y, -1, 0, 1. So I'd have -1 plus 2, which is 1, 0 plus 2 is 2, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So again, I would go, okay, here's -1, up 1, all right, that one works. 0, 2. Oh, well, that's not on my graph. So x plus 2 does not work. Moving on to the next one, y equals -x. So here's x and y, -1, 0, and 1. When x is negative, or when x is -1, we have a -1. So -1 times -1 gives us a positive. X is 0 would be 0. And when x is 1, we'd get -1. So let's look. When x is -1, here we are at 1, 0, 0, and 1, -1. All of these are on my line. That means y equals -x is indeed my answer. And again, if we were to do the equation-wise, b equals 0, m equals, we would go down 1 and right 1, so we'd have -1/1, which equals -1. So we would write y equals -x, or y equals -1x plus 0, and then simplify down to y equals -x. But that's how we do the second one. Alright, so when it comes to the third one, we know it's not y equals x. We know it's not y equals -x. So let's do our equations again. Y equals 2x, make our table. X, y, -1, 0, 1. 2 times -1 gave us a -2. 0 times 2 is 0. 2 times 1 is 2. So I'm going to look. When I'm at -1, am I at -2? Oh, that looks good. Am I at 0, 0? Yes. Am I at 1, 2? Yes. So all three of those work. So y equals 2x is my answer. But again, I could use the fact that b equals 0 and oops, not y, m equals, and from this point to that point I go up 2 and over 1, so we would have 2 over 1, which is 2. So then, excuse me, y would equal 2x plus 0. I don't need to write because we don't need to have 0. And that would be my final answer. So either way, whether I use the table or whether I use the graph to create my equation using what we know from chapter 5, we get the same answer. And that's the point. So like if you're still struggling with y equals mx plus b, by all means use the table. If you think the table is just too much work, again, by all means, use the y equals mx plus b. It's your choice. So I'm going to leave it off at here for now, and there'll be a second video for 8.1.